Hello? All right. And we are live. Hey, this is Andy. I just finished showering. Clearly, I went to the gym earlier tonight and then got McDonald's because that's the kind of person I am. I didn't really have a real dinner, but I did go grocery shopping today, which is a big step for me because I was not feeling it. I made some salmon for tomorrow, so progress is being made on that front. And so I just wanted to, chat a little bit maybe. I feel like I'm not. Oh, yeah. Yep, this McDonald's is very much cold because I took a shower and made lunch for tomorrow. Anyway, so earlier today I posted some pictures that I took. That's what I do. I like to take photos. I feel like I'm really happy with my body right now and I feel good about myself. So I've been, posting photos of myself in lingerie or various states of undress, which is newer for me. It really only started in 2019. I think I always wanted to be one of those girls, one of those women who took a lot of photos where she just looked and felt hot. And now I'm doing it, and that's a really cool feeling. But someone messaged me on Instagram. They asked me how I'm able to feel so confident, and that they said that they were jealous of me. And I don't know, I thought I would just talk about that for a little bit because honestly, I mean, it's true for any person who comes off as being confident, but obviously everyone has their insecurities. That's just life. At the end of the day, I have done a lot of work to get to where I am emotionally and in terms of my confidence and self-esteem. So this is what I told the person who messaged me. I told them it took a lot of time and a lot of work and a lot of years of hating myself a lot to really be happy with who I am and the body I have, because at the end of the day, this body and who I am right now is really all I have and all I'm guaranteed to have. So it's an ongoing process. In this process, any little step, even if it's a tiny step, any little step you take towards feeling better about yourself and being happy with yourself, you have to celebrate it. And as long as you're working towards that place that you want to be, that's what matters. I'm definitely the kind of person where if I don't see a clear plan or a clear route to get where I want to be, I feel paralyzed and I feel hopeless and there's, nothing I can do, but that's not true. You have to know that there's always something, a little bit, just something small every day that you can do to get your life to where you want it to be. So for instance, I got a gym membership a month and a half ago. So I'm actually paying for a gym membership because I'm trying to be more critical about how I practice self-care. Self-care isn't just doing a face mask or treating yourself to junk food. It's also taking care of your body and actively working on it and making sure you're healthy. I have a history of heart disease and high blood pressure and high cholesterol on both sides of my family, so it's something I've for a long time been very aware of. I know that I need to take care of my body because it's in my genes. It's something that I need to worry about because I'm so predisposed to have heart problems and cholesterol problems. And if I don't start working on it now, I know that in the future it'll cause more problems, and I want to have a good life. I want to have high quality of life. I think that most people take a lot of pride into, they have a lot of pride in projects or places where they put a lot of work and effort. And so one way to become more confident and have a more positive self-esteem is to put a lot of work into your body and to feeling good about it. It's something you have to actively work on. Obviously, there are days I don't feel as good about my body, but I think it's all a matter of figuring out what you like about your body, what you like about yourself, and focusing on it. And that's not easy. Once I was able to lose my inhibitions and start taking the kind of photos that I like to take and that make me feel good and sexy and attractive and confident, that honestly helped me so much, to know that I could make my body look the way I wanted it to look, that I could show my body to other people in a way that made me feel proud and happy and confident. Like, it wasn't my journey to get to this place now where I feel so much better about my body, where I enjoy working out. For me, it is actually becoming self-care. Like, if I go a week without working out, like twice, I feel kind of bad. Like, my body doesn't feel as good. Me going to the gym and working out for like an hour and a half and lifting weights, it just, I don't have to think about anything for a moment, and like, I know that I'm taking care of myself and like making my life better for future me, which usually I'm doing stuff that's gonna like make future me miserable. Not buying groceries or other dumb shit like that. I think it's so easy, especially as a woman of color. It is so easy to depend on kind of sexual and romantic attention to cover up my self-esteem problems. And this isn't to say I don't have those issues still. I definitely still do. I know I do. But I went through a really tough breakup. I guess I went through two really tough breakups in 2018. And after that, kind of starting in the new year, I decided I was going to take a break from dating and sex and dating apps especially. I have been on all of the dating apps and used them extensively, and I was trying to kind of focus on myself for a little bit, which I didn't really allow myself to do after the first breakup. That has been huge for me. I mean, it's not, even now, I'm not on dating apps now, but I was for like about a week, maybe a month and a half ago. I did have sex in January, and like, I have been having sex and all that sort of thing, but actually taking the time to think about it and to learn more about myself. I was actually journaling a lot for a moment. I kind of lost that just because I was super busy in March. March was a pretty hellish month. Honestly, like, just writing down when I had all of those spiraling thoughts, when I just had so much in my brain that I couldn't make sense of, it helped me so much. It really did. And I think it's all about finding those things that help you specifically. So for my mom, I know that she loves doing yoga, and I can see how that can like kind of help you feel better about yourself. My older sister likes to meditate, and it's all about finding that one thing that helps you. It helps you really understand yourself and learn more about yourself, and kind of come to terms with who you are, because like I said before, at the end of the day, you just have you. You just have this flesh sack. You just have this brain. You just have you. That is all you can guarantee in this life. And all that you'll have at the end of life. And it's so important to self-reflect. I always talk about how I feel like I'm very self-aware. I'm like very aware of a lot of my problems, a lot of the issues that I have, but often I have trouble kind of figuring out how to deal with those issues. And I think I'm almost halfway there, to be able to at least acknowledge and be aware of my shortcomings and where I want to improve my life and how I want to be better. Obviously, the ideal would be if I could, figure out the steps to get where I want to be. And sometimes I can, sometimes I can't. And also, that's true of anything. You just kind of have to guess a lot of the times. You just have to go in a direction and hope that you'll end up where you want to be. And even if that's not true, you'll end up somewhere different from where you are. And if you're not happy with where you are, then, well, it's kind of all you can do, is at least try and change your position, change your life, even if it isn't necessarily, like, you're not guaranteed it's going to be for the better, but it'll be different. McDonald's is like so much worse once it's cold, but I'm still gonna eat it because I'm hungry as fuck. I don't know why or how I became this person who was so dependent on external validation, especially from men, to kind of get my confidence and my self-esteem. Because for so long, I didn't get any, like, attention from boys or men. I didn't have my first kiss until I was 16. I didn't have sex for the first time until I was 18. So I had to spend so much of my life kind of trying to figure out who I was without a guy to validate me. And even now, I feel like I am at the best place I've ever been in terms of my confidence and self-esteem, but I know that I am still using male attention as a way to validate myself. There are aspects about myself that I wish I could change, or I know I can be better, but I'm just not comfortable with it yet, or I don't know how to change that. So for instance, I'm honestly super self-conscious about body hair. I'm not even like a very hairy person, but I shave all year round, even during the winter. Even when in the bitter Chicago winter, I am definitely not showing any exposed skin, I will still shave. And I honestly get uncomfortable about the prospect of having sex with someone without having shaved my pubic hair. Like, I truly do. I was in a relationship for almost 3 years, and my partner even explicitly told me that he doesn't really care about pubic hair, but I still did not like having sex when I was not clean shaven. It's so hard to tell how much of it is like patriarchy and misogyny and sexism that has been ingrained and socialized in me, and how much of it is just my personal preference. And I wish I could be okay with my body hair and be okay with how it is in its natural state, but I just can't. And I don't know if that's something I want to actively work on changing or not. Because again, it's hard to know how much of it is like socialization and how much of it is just like my personal preference. That's kind of always the problem, is you never know how much is your free will and how much of it is just like society. It's important to at least like grapple with those issues, and like grapple with those internal conflicts so we can at least try to come to some sort of conclusion, or at least figure out how you can be happy and what you want out of life, what you want from your body, what you want. I know a lot of people like to focus on what bodies can do rather than how they look. And I get that. Like, it makes sense to an extent, but I think also for people who have like chronic illness or, disabilities or stuff like that, like you can't place all of your value as a person into what you can do necessarily. I think at the core it's all about being happy with what you have and who you are, or at least accepting it and being okay with it. If you're not happy where you are, trying to get to where you want to be, doing what is within your capacity to make your body into the body you want it to be, or to do the things you want it to do. Again, within possibility and your capacity. Yeah. I mean, it's really just that. My best friend and roommate, I have 2 roommates. My best friend and one of my roommates is out of town this week. And also because we've both just been so busy and super busy, we haven't really had much time to talk recently. So I figured I would maybe do some venting, but I feel like this isn't going to be very entertaining or like funny or anything. And I tend to take pride in being funny. Like, that's kind of one of the things I really like about me, is that I feel like I have a good sense of humor and good timing, and I understand how humor works. But, well, I guess this is portraying a specific version of me, and there's nothing wrong with that. Also, I'm not gonna call this like a mukbang or anything, because one, it's dumb just because it's like the trendy thing to call it that or whatever. Like, non-Korean content creators will like call things a mukbang and like not even try to pronounce it correctly or anything. I'm like, literally, like, do the bare minimum. Like, if you're gonna appropriate this thing, like, do the bare minimum. Like, right? But no. People like barely even try. And the other point being that I'm not really eating that much food. I don't have a huge stomach. Also, I went to Korean barbecue with some friends last night, and so I ate so much meat. It was so much meat. I like don't even buy meat for myself usually. Like, I just eat fish. It's like fish and tofu mostly. I like don't buy red meat at all. And so I was like, it was wild. But it was like all you can eat for $25. So, like, you know, I was out here trying to get my money's worth. I don't know. I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, confidence is something you have to build for yourself and create for yourself. Anything, any confidence or, like, confidence boost you might get from other people, it's not going to last. It's temporary. So you have to search within yourself and figure out how you can get to the place of confidence that you want. So, if that's working out, if that's doing a sport, if that's, you know, dressing the way you want to dress, if it's doing your makeup a certain way, if it's doing your hair a certain way, if it's taking pictures, if it's whatever you want, anything you can do, I want you to do it. I want you to take control of your life and your body, and I want you to care for it and work on it and have pride in it, because it's not perfect. Nobody's perfect. Nobody's body is perfect. Even like all these Instagram models and celebrities, like, their bodies are not perfect. So you have to set expectations realistically and also put work into it, care about it. As much as I feel like nothing really matters in the end, because, you know, we're all gonna die and, like, nothing fucking matters. This is all that we have guaranteed. This life is all we have that's guaranteed, so you have to make the most of it. You have to love yourself as much as you can. You have to give out as much love as you can, and that's all we can do, is really hope that we can have a good existence and improve other people's existence while we're conscious and on this earth and on this plane. So that's what I want you to go out and do, is to love yourself and love other people fiercely and put in work. Just put in that work, because once you put in that work, I can't promise you anything, obviously, but I feel like once people put in work into something, it's so hard not to, like, care about it and feel prideful about it, you know, to have some sense of pride in what you've accomplished or, like, what you're working on, and that you're doing something. You don't need external validation at that point. You have worked so hard and you've put in effort, and that's all that matters. If it matters to you, then it matters. I feel like that inspiring note is probably where I'm going to leave off on. Funnily enough, I have fries and a little side salad here. But you'll just have seen me eat the junk. It's cool. It's cool. Just know I have a salad in here. I am eating vegetables, I promise. My lips are dry as fuck, and I don't know how to deal with that. That's why I have this Gatorade, because apparently drinking electrolytes can help retain moisture and hydration, which I am guessing is my problem. Who knows? But it is almost midnight. I need to go the fuck to sleep so that I can wake up early and go to the office. I hope you are having a good day, or are about to have a good day, or made it through the day, or about to make it through the day, no matter what time it is or where you are or what you're doing. Make the most of it. I know it's really hard, especially when you're stuck in those moments where you do not want to be where you are. It's so hard. But any little move and step you make towards being where you want to be, celebrate it, because it matters. It is going to make a difference in your life. So yeah, I guess that's the end of me being all inspirational and stuff. I hope this turns out at least somewhat interesting or entertaining. Who knows? But yeah, I don't really know how to end these things or end a video. I guess I'll just say good night, goodbye. Remember, nothing matters because we're all gonna die. So make the most of what you have now. Make the most of your time, your body, your relationships, the people around you. That is what we have now. What we are experiencing now is all that we have. So make the most of it because nothing fucking matters. Okay, bye.